Hey, it's Trick Trauma, and today I had a great opportunity I wanted to pass along to you guys. I went with my wife to an exam, and while I was in the waiting room, I seen a gentleman sitting with a World War II veteran baseball cap on. You really don't get to see many of those anymore, so I went up and I thanked him for everything that he had done for this nation. And it became crystal clear really fast that this guy had an intact mind, great memory, everything going on. And so we had a little bit of a conversation, and then it turned into me just listening to him talk and trying to absorb the knowledge that he was passing on to me. And let me tell you, the generation that this guy came from, and he especially highlighted the fact that in the generation he came from, men were allowed to be men. And he talked about the fact that, if you were a man and you wronged another man, you were going to get punched in the mouth. It just was what it was. But afterwards, hopefully, everybody was going to be good, and we were just going to move along from it. And that, he believed that today's society could benefit from that in a lot of ways. He talked about the fact that men should be allowed to be men, and he wanted to make sure that he highlighted that. At no point in his life did he ever try to be brazen. At no point in his life, did he ever not cherish the women in his life. He held his mother and his wife and his children, his daughters, up on pedestals and treated them like they were the biggest treasures in his life. But he was not going to let another man cross a line that shouldn't be crossed. He wasn't going to let a man use vulgar language in front of his daughters or his wife or his mother. He wasn't going to let another man, mistreat anybody around him and get away with it and just turn a blind eye to it and walk away. And to be honest with you, I believe society would be a much better place today if that was the way that we all treated each other. And I would want you to hold me to that accountability level as much as I would want to hold you to that accountability level. And so that was one of the things that got me thinking about the fact that when you're on testosterone replacement therapy, there's not a lot of people who want a 50-year-old running around who looks like they work out and has a fair bit of muscle, because a 50-year-old man has established his boundaries. A 50-year-old man knows what he will and will not tolerate. And to be honest with you, society would prefer it if you were just fat and lazy and sitting in a corner, and if somebody wronged you, you just had to sulk away and hope somebody else would come and take up your battles for you. Okay, so, and it's a freeing thing to know that when you walk into a room and you look in the younger generation's eyes, they look at you with respect. Because I'm going to tell you, I've dealt with a lot of thugs in my lifetime and in my job, and one thing I can tell you is thugs understand power, money, and muscle. Okay, those are three things that they understand. And when you walk into a room and you've got a fair bit of muscle on you, there's a lot of people who understand that. And I'm not saying that you walk into a room like you're going to whip the entire room's ass. That is as far from the truth as what I'm trying to intend here, because I've told you guys that being on testosterone has made my move more even keeled than it's ever been. And I am a peace-loving guy, but I also have a line, and I know where that line is, and I know when I will or will not allow somebody to cross that line. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to allow you to cross the line. And I would hope that for everybody else too. I would hope that if you're out here and you're trying to make yourself healthier, and you're out here on your testosterone, and you're out here building muscle, that you know where your line is. You're out here to protect your family, and you're out here to say, listen, I'm going to be a shepherd, and I'm going to be a shepherd to, principally myself. I'm going to be a shepherd to my family. I'm going to be a shepherd to my community, and I'm going to be a shepherd to society. And I'm going to show people, that they can rely on me, and that I'm going to keep people safe who are around me, and I'm not going to tolerate foolishness. Again, guys, I don't believe there's a lot of people out here, especially in the younger generation, who would prefer that older men be out here toting muscle and willing to whip ass, because they want to be able to get away with what they want to be able to get away with, and they would prefer you be somebody who, if they wronged you, you just had to sulk away. And so, this guy, he was telling me, he's like, my generation, that just wasn't the way it was going to happen. I truly support that, to be honest with you. We have got to get back to being a nation where we hold men accountable to being men, and that we, prize men for being men, because at the heart of it, men being men is being providers. And to be honest with you, the guys who I know who still live by that code are guys who are veterans, guys who work in public safety, guys who are blue-collar workers who are out here in machine shops and garages, or carpenters, or electricians, or welders, or plumbers, guys who are out here riding around on Harleys who you would look at and be scared of, but they're still living by a code of ethics, and they're telling you that you cross a line, I'm gonna whip your ass. We have got to have that kind of a society and hold each other accountable for actions, so that the inmates aren't running the jailhouse, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. All right, and I don't care whether or not you're a guy who you pack on tons of muscle and you never have to use it, or you're a guy who you pack on tons of muscle and you have to fight for your family daily. I support you in that, because I believe that a man has a right to stand up and protect himself, his family, his property, the things that we earn in our lifetime. So if you're out here and you've drawn yourself a line, you're making yourself healthier, and you're protecting yourself, you're looking out for the rights of your family, I salute you. I think this guy would salute you. He made a point that he lost a lot of friends in the European theater. He called it the opportunity to fight in the European theater. He lost a lot of friends and spilled a lot of blood in the European theater in order to fight for the freedoms that we have today. And he feels like the modern generations are just trying to give that blood away at no price. And we've got to get back to a nation that cherishes our nation. We don't always have to agree. And, liberty is one of those things that's a hard game to play, because you have to be willing to listen to other people's whose views are entirely different than yours. You have to be able to listen to them. It doesn't say that you have to buy in, and that's where we get, is that we have a lot of people today who, just because they say something, they think that you should automatically sway your opinion to theirs. We have to listen to them, and that's part of being in a society that believes in liberty. We don't have to bow down to them, and we don't have to change our way of living just to abide by somebody else's wishes. So, guys, if you're out here and you're drawing a line, you're making yourself more physically fit, and you're doing so in partially to be able to protect your family, your property, and your rights, I salute you, because, there's a lot of people who are coming up the pathway behind us who I don't believe are. So that's just my 2 cents. Love veterans. I'm telling you, if you're a veteran, I don't care if you're a guy who served in the military 4 years, never saw a war zone, but you did your tour and came out. I salute you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the freedoms that you protect for all of us. That's just my 2 cents. But guys, if you have an opportunity to go out here and meet a World War II veteran, because there's so few of them left, and they've got a good intact mind, just take the opportunity. I'm telling you, this history has disappeared. Take the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with them. You might learn something about them. I promise you, if you walk away and you reflect on yourself, you'll learn something about yourself. All right? God bless you guys. Have a great day. I'm Turk Trauma. We'll see you later.